Alrighty, so this is going to be a little bit out of the ordinary. This video is without prejudice and without recourse, okay? I'm stand on the UCC 1-308. Alright, I'm going to keep all my rights. And I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to give legal advice. I may give my opinion, but it's not legal advice, okay, people? So do not take it as such, alright? Because I'm not an attorney. Never look just straight forward. Always look around you. Be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. It's very important to do such. But let's check this video out.
A recent watchdog report estimated that almost half of all Americans think the U.S. justice system is corrupt. It is also approximated that over 2.5 million individual bribes are paid within the judicial system each year. So what's going on? Why are America's judges so corrupt? In the early 2000s, two Pennsylvania judges sent thousands of children to a juvenile detention center in exchange for financial kickbacks from detention center operators. This Kids for Cash scandal resulted in long prison sentences for the guilty parties and raised the issue of judicial corruption.
I don't know. Sounds like family court to me.
Judges occupy a particularly privileged status within the judicial branch. Although federal judges and Supreme Court justices have lifelong terms, in many states, judges must still run for re-election. While elections are supposed to hold local judges accountable to their constituents, it can often create conflicts of interest, just as it does with politicians. One 2004 case, an Illinois judge won an appointment to the High Court, partially thanks to financial support from a large insurance agency. Suspiciously, the judge later voted to overturn a $1 billion lawsuit against that agency, leading to a federal investigation of the circumstances. As judges are usually unopposed in their rulings, they hold the power to make dishonest judgments for financial gain, as in the Kids for Cash scandal. In a 2013 case, a Texas state judge was convicted of...
Let's pause that for a second. Now, somebody brought up to my attention on another video, right? Talking about most lawyers don't sue judges because of the obsolete immunity. All right. So if these federal governments want to claim sovereign citizen thing that I 100% don't believe in, you cannot be sovereign and a citizen. Therefore, by their own literature, what a sovereign citizen is describes judges and officers, y'all. Okay, so in fact, they're still making a claim that they are the one thing that they're claiming somebody else is. And then you got some other ones that claim it. Alright, in our Constitution, y'all, it does say we are sovereign. Okay, not sovereign citizen, but sovereign. Now, I know there's some words out there and definitions of words that the laws don't apply to this and this, that, here, and there. Okay? However, if I have a man sitting beside me and he's sovereign and I'm sovereign, right? Then I absolutely have zero authority over that man next to me that's sovereign, because we are one and the same. So we, the people, are sovereign, but we don't have higher authority over one another because we're all equal. Okay? So when the Founding Father says we are sovereign, which basically means is that we have authority over the government's activities. Okay? Unless you actually commit harm. Okay? Because federal government is called a person, and they signed up to agree to be a person. Alright, we the people are sovereign. We are men and women. Alright, during the beginning, the good Lord up above, alright, whether you're religious or not, you can take that with a grain of salt. However, what he says, we have dominion over the land, air, and water. 3 alphabets in the beginning spells out law. God's law. It says we have authority over everything on the land, on earth. Just saying.
Receiving more than $250,000 in bribes and kickbacks in exchange for favorable rulings. Some judgments were even sold for as little as $300 apiece. Judges with tenure and lifelong terms also pose a problem because they are essentially incontrovertible. Alabama Supreme Court Justice Roy Moore has more than once defied popular higher court rulings because of his own religious bias. Most recently, he ordered state officials to refuse marriage licenses to gay couples. Few penalties have been levied against Moore for his actions, though. In 2015, the Southern Poverty Law Center officially filed an ethical complaint. The American judicial system plays one of the most important regulatory roles in society. While an overwhelming majority of judges play by the rules, the lack of oversight and accountability leave the door wide open for corruption. Although a few government organizations like the Public Integrity Section study public officials, the investigation and prosecution of judges is a highly sensitive issue. Watchdog groups and media reports indicate that corruption is clearly present within the judicial system, but prosecution is difficult when those in question are the ones interpreting the law. While corrupt judges...
They believe it's highly corrupt, but it just cannot prosecute them because judges gave themselves the immunity. It wasn't Congress, it wasn't the legislature, it wasn't presidents, it wasn't the state of Texas. It was judges giving that to themselves, which is called a doctrine. Now, when did they have the authority to do such thing, y'all? When did they have authority to give qualified immunity to cops? They do not have this authority. They don't. And even our founding fathers also said that any Supreme Court is contradictory to the Constitution, it's null and void. Terry versus Ohio, alright, detained, is null and void, people, because it bypassed the Fourth Amendment.
Judges can fortunately be voted out if they are local. Supreme Court judges are here to stay for life, whether we love them or hate them. To find out why, watch our video.
And it's very important to recognize and understand this, alright? They say the Supreme Court's a lifetime, and they are. On one condition, they stay in honor. Congress can impeach the Supreme Court justice, any judge. And the Senate can be the judge and bench them off the bench. Okay? The exact same process for the president when they did it to Trump is the exact same process for the Supreme Courts and all federal courts. Once we know this, then we can actually start activating our process of calling out Congress.
Here, what's the logic behind lifetime appointments? Well, the framers wanted judges to be as nonpartisan as possible by removing their need to run for re-election on various political platforms every few years. Federal judges are expected to be impartial in their court decisions in order to uphold the law.
Thanks for watching TestTube News today. Please remember to like and subscribe.
Well, you see how well that went. And really, the reason why they're out of control is because the Congress is not acting on their authority. In fact, Congress is loving the judges to give more power to the country or to the state than it is to the people. That's the reason why it's a big no-no to say if a man or woman is sovereign, because they cannot have you to believe what is true. They want you to stay in their lies. Remember, y'all, it is legal for them to lie. It is legal for them to deceive you. Okay? They adopted the Roman law on that. Just saying. This is We the People News. Bye, y'all.